Guys, you can look in live stream chat to find out what is about to be taking over my life.
Oh, wow.
Aw.
Is it both of them?
It is. So originally we were getting a hypoallergenic cockapoo, my first time ever with a cockapoo. But and we found a beautiful one that we were getting, avocado.
Aww.
And then we ended up having chocolate chips adoptee fall through, so we are able to get both. And so we're flying down to Santa Barbara to pick them up. And I'm just assuming my life is wrecked. This is why we're not going anywhere next week for spring break.
No, definitely. That's great. Are they related?
Siblings.
Are they
Aw.
sisters?
Brother and sister. Chocolate
Brother
chip
and
is a
sister.
boy.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's how we ended
I-
up with 2 extra cats. They were
Is
bonded
that right?
and-
Yeah?
Yeah. Just couldn't separate them. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Are you a cat person, not dog person?
I'm a cat person, but my son is very intrigued by dogs, and he's just turned 4. So in a couple of years, when he can help, we'll probably get a dog. Yeah.
There you go. Get to work.
Yeah.
Get to work.
This is why cats are better. Cats just chill all day. Yeah.
Yeah. So whatever. I don't
Okay,
want
fair
any
enough.
more living creatures in my life at all.
You're like full up.
Yeah, we're
full
full.
up.
We got enough
Fair.
right now.
Well, I had enough conversations in a row where people told me that having 2 dogs is better than having 1 dog. It's easier than having 1 dog. And then I've now had
would
3
say
guys
that?
since making the
Yeah, who would
commitment.
say that?
That's
We've had
insane.
three people in a row say, good luck. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh, good. Mo in our Discord agrees, says 2 dogs are way easier. So I'm going to
It's just more poop. More poop and more toddler energy. I don't know.
Yeah, it seems aggressively crazy.
Stay tuned. Well, Devindra, what are you vibe coding? It's been a while since we've seen you. I
Nothing.
can't remember what our last app is, but what have you been up to?
We're trucking along on the Filmcast, reviewing a whole bunch of stuff at Engadget. I'm really intrigued. Like I was a part of the whole MacBook Neo news cycle, which is a fascinating product. So like I've been reporting on that. I went to New York for that, and
It's like a really big iPhone, basically. That's how they figured out what they're doing.
It's an amazing $600 computer. It is. I look at that thing and I'm like, what the hell are you PC manufacturers doing? Like,
Yeah.
it is. It just makes them all look so bad. So that is an amazing little device.
Wasn't there, Jason? There was something about like people were running LLMs on them and like, or on the smaller laptops or something.
You could do it.
Yeah, I mean, like if you wanted it to be your Claude computer, you totally could, because Claude is a thin client. Like, it doesn't require anything. So you could totally have it be your little Claude coding machine.
But at that point, get a Mac Mini. Like it's the Mac Mini price, and it's more powerful, far more powerful
totally.
than the little Neo.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, so you have not had a use yet for Claude Code. You are not doing any vibe coding, Devindra.
I'm not doing the vibe coding.
I'm
we report on a lot of AI stuff, and I'm mainly on the. I occasionally use it for like podcast stuff, but it's not even LLM stuff. It's like I use Descript a lot, Descript.com. I think the site does similar things.
Descript's
But their transcribing is great, and that helps my job a lot, but it is not like content creation the way LLMs are, and I don't do vibe coding, so maybe I'll play around with it at some point. I don't have a personal LLM. I'm not on that bandwagon yet. I actually just got done with a good interview with the director of the AI doc, Daniel Rohrer. He directed that movie. Yeah. It's a pretty great movie. Not like deep if you've been following the industry, but he got to talk to a lot of people, and we had a really good chat. So that's on the Engadget podcast too.
Yeah, I was
Cool.
I was surprised at how many people showed up for that documentary.
Yeah.
Like I'm very interested to know how they produced that to get that amount of participation.
I think he won an Oscar, right? So he is an Oscar-winning documentarian calling these folks up to come and talk. And that's how you get Sam Altman. That's how you get Dario Amodei and everybody there. Even Elon Musk said he was going to show up and just never did, but he said he was going to. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Shocking.
I can't believe Elon broke a promise. That doesn't seem
Insane.
like that's Elon Musk, the Rocketeer. Anyway,
Very surprising. Jason, do you
yeah.
want to plug your AI policy proposal website that you created this week? And
No, it's not for. That's just for me. That's not for
Okay.
everyone. Like,
Okay.
I mean, I will just say, like, generally, like, I find, like, I use Claude all day long right now. Like, not necessarily even for vibe coding. Like, I actually, like, the chat is, like, good enough to produce interesting artifacts that you can share. But, like, yeah, I'm continuing. You know, if you join our Discord, you can come and query our transcript bot to find out what we said about anything. You can go to search.escapehatchpod.com to also play with that. And
It's pretty impressive, Devindra.
It's pretty fun.
We have all 300 episodes fully indexed, so you can ask any question about any appearance. You can ask, what cinematographers have we talked about the most, or like whatever,
cool.
and it's fully indexed.
Yeah, as like your own personal database, that is cool. That's certainly an amazing thing. Like we've been doing the Filmcast since 2008, and I would love to just have. I forget what we talked about. I forget all sorts of stuff. So that's the sort of thing where it's great. I'm worried. I'm still worried about the like content theft of all of these LLMs. So I don't drive them daily. Yeah.
Fair.
No,
fair.
That's totally fair. I do think like for most of the coding stuff, like for me, it's just solving specific stuff. I don't have any belief that like the code or the software that's been written is useful to anyone else but me. It's just like, oh no, this was like some problem that I had that like now I can tackle because the LLM will produce like a website that's usable for me, which I think is fun.
Yeah.
Well, what about just on hardware? How are you feeling on the vibes on this iPhone Fold? Do you think this is going to be like a big transformative game changer thing?
I don't, what was the latest rumors? Like I saw the stuff coming from Mark Gurman. It's Apple doing the thing, doing what they do, right? They follow years late everybody else. And I think the big thing is they may be able to do it without a crease. And I don't know if like that alone will sell people, but I do think the iPhone user base, like people are looking at those Samsung Galaxy Folds and being like, I would like some of that. And I was super skeptical of those things when they first appeared because they were trash. Like they were breaking, they weren't super stable. The apps weren't really built for this foldable interface. And now that the tech has matured and has durability, I'm more intrigued for sure. My iPhone, like I don't have an iPad. I keep looking at iPads. I'm like, I should get one, but no, I have my iPhone on me all day. If I want to watch something when I'm tired in bed, like I hold my iPhone up to my face, and that is a very nice screen, with good OLED capabilities, and I can see it without putting on my glasses. So it's a great way to watch The Pit after I put the kids to bed.
Love The Pit.
Love The Pit. So good.
It's so good.
Pit continues to deliver. Yeah, it's definitely great.
Yeah.
How many episodes? We're on episode 12, I think. I don't know how many.
We're getting towards the end. Isn't it like 15 per season? Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost like old school TV shows, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's so crazy, that whole concept of how we used to have 26 or 22 episodes, and there was literally just like a 4-month break, and that was it. It was bad.
Yeah.
We wonder why Aaron Sorkin went insane. Because it was basically him writing all of the West Wing. Like there were other writers, but he was doing all the teleplays. So it's like, he went insane. It's no wonder.
It's just one of the many things that we've lost in the creative switch from cocaine to ketamine. Is like people are just like too busy disassociating and communing with like the eldritch spirits of the universe and
disassociating and I don't know, destroying democracy in the process.
Yes, exactly.
I wish they were just writing SNL scripts. Or doing SNL. Yeah,
crank out some scripts.
That's our societal fix.
Yeah,
that is
more
it.
Cocaine.
We could get more cocaine. It's always the answer. Hey, we are so stoked to have you here, Devindra. So this is an interesting full circle moment for you on this podcast, because your very first appearance was for Chow Yun-Fat in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And today we are gathering for John Woo's final Hong Kong masterpiece, Chow Yun-Fat and Tony Leung in Hard Boiled.
My God.
How many of the greatest movies of all time can Chow Yun-Fat be in? Just this
is a great
just
question.
rocks them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a very good question. So we'll be getting to that in just a few minutes at the bottom of the hour. Before we do, Jason, next week on Escape Hatch, baby, this one is a long time coming. This is basically like it's basically like CR month over on Escape Hatch, because we are finally tackling one of the 80s classics of all time, Robert De Niro, Charles Grodin, Joey Pants, Yaphet Kotto, Midnight Run.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's great.
Nice.
You've never seen this movie.
I've never seen it.
You're in for a treat. What a
Yeah.
blast.
Right?
Yeah. Just so much fun.
This movie is incredible. So
Yeah.
cannot wait for folks to check that out. And joining us to cover this from the New York Times, the GOAT, Dave Itzkoff, is finally
The GOAT. He's
Ooh,
back.
Nice.
Really stoked. Really stoked. He was kind enough to take a bump so we could get Ben in here to talk about Iran when the war was.
He got
breaking out.
bumped by the war. Not so much.
Yes.
not just Ben, but by he was a wartime casualty.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. That was a very chill thing. So we're stoked
Yeah,
to
it was very
finally
chill.
get him. Time to get him back. All right. Can we do some quick Hatch news?
Hatch news from beyond.
I only have one item, and that is that Project Hail Mary's hold, week after week, they were down only 32%.
Pretty remarkable.
That is insane.
Pretty remarkable shit from our folks. Yeah, that's great.
How'd you like this one, Devindra? How did Project Hail Mary hit you guys?
It's a perfect movie. As close to a
Yeah.
perfect movie
Wow.
as there can be. Of course, as we are, I don't know, in the spotlight, like just absorbing the glow of this movie, Andy Weir has to say things. Shut up, Andy Weir. Let us enjoy
Yeah.
the movie.
Yeah. Right.
Stop talking, Andy Weir.
Dissing
God.
Star Trek, yeah.
I don't read his books. I don't read his books. It takes Drew Goddard to like humanize his characters
Yeah.
for me to really be interested. Yeah.
I was having a conversation with somebody who was like pissed that there was a bunch of the science removed. Something about like solar
Yes.
panels covering Saudi Arabia
Yeah.
and nukes
Yeah.
being exploded in the
They blew up
Arctic.
Antarctica in the books. There's
Yeah.
there's a whole thing. There's a whole jail thing for the woman in charge of the Save the
Yeah.
Earth plan. Yeah.
Which is alluded to at the end. There's like an Easter egg where like she's like where Strahd like has like this like prison tat on her neck from when she was
Yep.
from when she was imprisoned after the events
And supposedly broke out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
What? What
She
happened?
looks
was in prison
hardcore
for
at the end of the movie. She looks like
Because she
what is
basically
she going
becomes
through?
like a world dictator, and like
Okay.
there's this big courtroom scene in the book where she basically like she has all these like extra legal authorities to like accomplish anything, and then when it seems like the mission doesn't work, they're like, okay, you were the one responsible for all this, you're going to jail, and so she
Lots
ends
of
up
people
with this-
die too because of the things she did. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Damn. I'm
Trying to save the world over here.
Yeah,
break a
she's trying
few
to save
eggs.
the world.
Yeah.
I did. So it did remind me a bit of that. Reminded me of the Wallfacer project from Dark Forest, and so made me want to. I just downloaded again the audiobook for the third one, which I never finished. So I got to pick that back up and read that third book before the next season comes out on Netflix. Well, we're stoked. Project Hail Mary, way to go! More bold sci-fi takes with good stories and good characters.
Yeah.
I do want to just briefly. Hold on one second. I was not prepared for this. I forgot.
Oh, geez.
I forgot. No, this is not a big deal.
Oh, geez.
I do want to just take a second to welcome a new patron.
Oh wow, amazing.
Will G joined us this week. Welcome.
That's great. Welcome, Will G. We appreciate you. You can join our Patreon, our engineers channel on Discord, which sends alert to my phone. Response time may be impaired in the next week or so when I'm with my family, but in general, it works out great.
Yes. Do it. Come join us. Let's have a good time.
Yeah.
Come join us. All right. Anything you guys have? Anything we need to hit?
No, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to
Let's
talk about this
go.
movie.
Are you guys ready to talk about this friggin' movie?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Hard boiled is the lines we walk up to and must sometimes cross over to stop the forces of evil. Inspector Tequila Yuen Ho Yan is a loose cannon, leading a dangerous investigation into gun runners operating across Asia out of Hong Kong. After the death of his partner in the latest raid, Tequila is more determined than ever to take down the rival triad organizations led by Uncle Hoy and the bloodthirsty upstart Johnny. During his quest, he will come face to face and gun to gun with Alan, Uncle Hoy's trusted lieutenant, who himself is being drawn into Johnny's orbit to betray his boss. But Alan has a secret. He's actually a deep undercover cop struggling with the countless murders he's been forced to carry out in the pursuit of his mission. In the end, Tequila and Alan will walk into the fire together, take on all comers, and teach these criminals that they don't stand a chance when they face two cops who aren't just tough, they're hard-boiled.
Oh, that's good. That's one of your better. That's one of your better synopses.
Very nice.
Let's be honest. You've been phoning it in for a while. That one you really showed some stuff with.
Yes. All right.
Yes.
Good. I will take it. Devindra, what was your first experience with Hard Boiled?
Oh man, what was my first? It must have been like mid 90s on a crummy VHS tape, like third or fourth generation, like the way we used to have to access these things.
Yeah.
It was really tough. So I had friends, from all over. I had a whole bunch of Vietnamese friends, and they would like lend me the movies that they enjoyed, and that's kind of how I stumbled into this one. But it was rough. Like the movie, it was hard to see anything. The subtitles were non-existent. Like there were subtitles, but it was all like broken English and not great stuff. So I watched it just to enjoy these movies, and for me, it was like this was my first exposure to Chow Yun-fat, and just his effortless charisma. Like there is nobody cooler than this guy. He is the coolest person in cinema, and he's just so cool. He is so cool.
I will make the case that in this movie, there's maybe one other person who is cooler.
Mad Dog.
We're gonna have that.
Mad Dog's cool as hell. Mad Dog, you lean over on an open flame and light your cigarette.
That's
cool.
amazing shit.
I love him. I love the action in this movie where they were like, they're just setting people on fire. They're just blowing people up. Like there's no safety here.
No.
Yeah. But that was my first thing. Like it's early gen VHS, and I bought it on DVD. I bought it on Blu-ray. Like this, famously, the only way to see this movie on Blu-ray was if you bought the PlayStation game Stranglehold. So it was like a part of that sequel, whole thing. Yeah, yeah. I have the Arrow Video,
4K.
whatever they're calling it, Arrow Studios 4K. Looks incredible. I have never seen this movie look so good. It still sounds iffy because they can't really do much with the audio track, right? It is a mono DTS track, so it's the cleanest version of the source track. But I remember, I think the DVD or something, they like pumped up and made bad sound effects for the movie too. I guess it's better to have the source track, but I wish it was better.
Fair.
It's sort of like the old like Beatles mono records or something like that. It's like this is how it was intended.
This is how it was intended. I just talked about Excalibur. Excalibur's a great film, but also bad sound design, and they just remastered that. So now I have to rewatch that version.
Yeah,
unbelievable movie. Jason is a huge fan of Excalibur.
I don't love Excalibur, but Matt,
I love it.
Matt, it's the most important movie.
5 stars. 5 stars. All right, Jason. What about you? What was your first?
Like I think, as I alluded to last week, I saw this movie when I was incredibly stoned in college on a like bad VHS copy, and like it's the only time like I seen, and we were just going through like a big someone like amongst us. It was like one of those things like back in the early internet, like pre times when like one guy was the only one who had ever heard of John Woo or what, it's just like, there's this guy, John Woo, he makes movies in Hong Kong. Have you seen this shit? And I was like, no. And we watched it one night. I was like, holy shit. Like, I don't even know this is possible in a movie. And I had not revisited it since then. So my memories of it were incredibly foggy. And so this was essentially like my first watch of the movie for all intents and purposes. Like I was not comparing it to some sort of pristine prior watch.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. So I saw this also, I think in 94, or maybe early 95, right before I moved from California to Minnesota to go get my computer science degree. And I think what happened was after Pulp Fiction, and maybe what year was True Romance? Is that 94? Or is it 95? Somewhere in that
90s.
Somewhere in that ballpark. But
93.
93. Okay, so I had seen that, obviously, and I remember, you have all the pointing guns at each other, right? And I had heard rumblings that Quentin was influenced by this guy, John Woo, and Quentin at that point had done Rolling Thunder and was like distributing Chungking Express and stuff. So I was just kind of interested and aware of this other cinema stuff that was happening. And so I tracked this down and watched it. We watched the we watched the dubbed version, American dubbed version, which to me was like completely fun. I always do subtitles when I watch foreign film, but it was really fun as an action movie to have these kind of really bad American subtitles going. But I just absolutely fell in love with it, watched it so many times on VHS, DVD, and I don't think I'd revisited probably in 8 years maybe, but it was really great to get back around on it. So just some quick behind the scenes. This was conceived in response to criticism that Wu had that all of his earlier work was romanticizing criminals. So we have A Better Tomorrow, A Better Tomorrow 2. We have The Killer. These are all starring Chow Yun-fat as the coolest motherfucker of all time. Yeah. Just absolutely wasting people. And so they had the idea of having a police-centered film instead, and basically like a Hong Kong version of Dirty Harry. And this idea, there was apparently this really tough police officer that Wu was inspired by, who was also an avid drummer.
Makes sense.
Okay. Yeah,
that's where you get that connection. So this I had never heard before. This is nuts. Originally, Tony Leung's character was the bad guy, was a psychopath who was poisoning baby food. And the whole concept is that Tequila and Madam, they were the team who were working together, and Madam was going to be played by Michelle Yeoh.
Of course.
Man.
That would have been something. That would have been something. Man, 1992, Michelle Yeoh.
Holy
Super
cow.
Cop era. Yeah.
Good Lord.
Exactly. And so she had a long relationship with Terrence Chang, who was the producer on this film. And he did a little tiny bit of market research. And surprisingly, people are not interested and are also actively disgusted by the idea of poisoning babies.
No.
That's not a...
He did. What was the market research for that, I wonder? Like,
That's a great question.
They walked outside and just shouted,
"Does anyone
see a
want to
movie
see
about
some
poisoning
babies poisoned?"
Crazy shit. So they basically shut the film down and they rewrote the story. They took Tony Leung's character and they made him an undercover police officer. And then basically Madam's role then became much more, reduced. Yeah. And so that was the change to go to Teresa
Michelle Yeoh's like, I cannot kick any butt in this movie. Why am I here?
I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
Yeah. Exactly. So filmed in 123 days, this film was originally meant to be less stylish and more gritty and a thriller, but ended up.
He can't help himself. Come on.
No. This is going to be style. This is going to be gritty.
Yeah.
But he did try and work as lean as possible, including things like all the characters had their voices dubbed by their own actors as opposed to bringing in Cantonese actors, which was the tradition.
Oh, right.
Mm-hmm.
So that was an example there. Budget on this film, $4.5 million. Worldwide, $72 million.
That's great. Good for him.
Amazing.
Good for
That's
him.
a huge hit. That is a huge international
return.
hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I'm rewatching this movie. I'm like, they never remade this because you can't. You can't even attempt to. You cannot adapt this to another culture. You cannot try to remake. Like, I think Johnny To was going to do a remake with Chow Yun-fat in like the early 2000s. They just gave up on the idea. Like, you just can't. It is so untouchable, this movie. And it's also interesting how the seeds of Infernal Affairs are in this movie too. Because you've got Tony Leung, you've got Anthony Wong, you've got the sort of like undercover intrigue too. So you can easily draw a line between this and getting to the pure drama of Infernal Affairs, which is an incredible film.
I've actually never seen that. I want to see that.
Oh boy.
That one's real fucking good. That one,
that one is so good. Martin Scorsese was like, "Holy shit, I need to make this." Yeah.
Yoink.
I was thinking the other day of Internal Affairs, which is Garcia and Richard Gere, and that movie is awesome as well. That is it.
Oh yeah,
recall
that
that.
one's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good too. That's a really good paranoid thriller.
Gere is the bad guy. Yeah.
We should do that one. Why did you just
think so?
spoil the movie? Yeah.
I don't think that's a spoil. I don't think that's a spoiler. I mean, before we get started, like I think I want to just start here and just say, let's just reflect for a few minutes on John Woo, right? So he started, back at like in the 70s making shorts and films, comes up hard with Better Tomorrow 2, The Killer, Bullet in the Head, Once a Thief, then Hard Boiled. So this I think we can say, or at least I will say, I believe this is the best, as good as it gets, unfortunately, because from here you have Hard Target with Van Damme, Broken Arrow.
We will not besmirch Hard Target over here. We will not besmirch
Good.
Broken
Defend
Arrow
it.
We have Face Off.
Come
We have
on.
Face Off. We have Mission
Yeah.
Impossible 2, Wind Talkers, Paycheck, Red Cliff, Silent Night,
That's
The
the real
Killer,
downside. Yeah.
and Gambino. So please defend Hard Target and Broken Arrow.
Not a perfect film, but Van Damme is it's just so silly. It's so ridiculous. Like, I love Hard Target. I could
Doesn't he
take or leave
punch a
Broken Arrow.
rattlesnake? Does that?
Yep. Yeah, he
Okay.
does. Yeah, he
Just
does.
checking.
Somebody, there's a bow and arrow that leads to a building exploding in that one. That's a lot of fun. Broken Arrow, I can take or leave, but Face Off is a 90s action classic as well. Like, just fully unhinged. John Woo being like, okay, what can I do in terms of
With
like pure
big
insanity
budget.
for an American action movie? And then Mission Impossible 2, much reviled, but a film I enjoy quite a bit because it is beautiful. It is insane in so many ways. Like, there are wooisms in Mission Impossible 2 that I find just really, really compelling, and that nobody else would do. So, yeah.
Plus that cover by
That
whoever
cover,
the fuck.
the Limp
Yeah.
Bizkit cover.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. That is available at your karaoke place of choice. Tell me how I know. Tell me how I know.
Oh my
It's
God. Well, let me just ask one more question, because I have established a track record. You could ask our transcriber of, like, I am for the serious. It can have humor, but I'm for the unironic action stuff. So I am strongly in the Terminator is better than T2. So what's where do you land on that?
For Terminator specifically, or just broadly? I think it depends on
Terminator
the film.
versus T2. Like, which one's better?
This is a tough one because I grew up with T2. Like, I grew up. I was born in 1984. By the time I was like watching stuff on TV, T2 was the thing playing over and over again. And Terminator was the one I had to go back and discover. I think not until it was on DVD. So that was like late 90s. So much of my life revolved around Terminator 2. Specific scenes, specific sound effects in that movie are just like in my brain. Like the when the semi truck blows up after the chase, like that specific.
Right.
Those things. So, like, I like the Terminator quite a bit, especially because it's such a low budget thing. Like, I like it academically, but I like movies that also kick ass. And Terminator 2 kicks far more ass. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah.
Terminator 2 over Terminator 1. A more refined version.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I disagree, but I respect it. And it is part of an age thing. It is the difference of having seen Terminator in 84, 85, as a 15-year-old kid and be able to appreciate it.
This is not the first time I've heard this, by the way. Like, my friends who ran the geeksofdoom.com, like on the Filmcast, when we were talking about Terminator 2 way back when, like, they presented this idea, and it shocked me because I thought it was universally agreed that Terminator 2 was better than Terminator 1, but no, apparently people prefer Terminator 1. So
yeah,
I get it.
Olds. Boomers.
I also
Boomers
take Alien
mostly.
over Aliens, although, like, to me, Aliens is a perfect movie.
I
think Alien is
they're just so different. Those are two completely different spins on that genre.
Totally.
Yeah.
I did think it was funny. I had to ask Claude this morning whether the roses with the gun inside in Hard Boiled, whether that was an homage to Terminator 2 or whether Terminator 2 was homaging it. And apparently it's neither.
It's in the ether. They're the genius of these cinematic action directors. They were like, this is a brilliant idea. We'll do it at the same time. Basically.
It's in the ether, but also apparently both of them were influenced directly or indirectly by Stanley Kubrick, who
Oh, yeah.
used that in The Killing.
The Killing.
Which we
Yes.
haven't, we haven't done
yes.
yet. And then Pacino also in Dog Day Afternoon in 75.
Well, that was like a paper bag, and he also
Yeah.
fumbled it or something. But yeah.
Right, exactly. All right, where do you want to start, Devindra? What's your first point?
My first point, having just rewatching this movie, it does make me sad that Alan did not get a cooler name. It cannot just be Tequila and Alan.
Yeah.
This should be Tequila and Sting. Tequila and, I don't know, just give him a better name. Like, he's a cool dude. It's Tony Leung with those Tony Leung eyes. Just him, like, that scene where he has to kill the mob boss that he actually likes and he's friends with, and he's holding back the tears, and he's like, okay, he's gonna walk away. No, he kills everybody. He just kills everybody.
Yeah,
I put that in my notes, Devindra. His eyes.
His eyes.
So intense.
He is the most
Alan
intense.
shit.
Classic Alan shit. That's so Alan. But yeah, he is the strongest eye actor. I think. Like, I
you
love
can feel
him.
the pain, right? And
Yeah.
you see him in that moment. You can see him push through the sadness into the rage in order to drive himself to be able to turn around and kill all those guys, because that's what he has to do to get in with Johnny.
He didn't have to do that. I feel like it's a little much, Alan. Chill out, Alan. You're letting them go. He just went a little too far.
Animal Mother suggests Tequila and Chaser in the chat as a good name for the site.
You know, there's so many good combos. Tequila and whiskey. Come
Tequila
on.
and lime.
Oh. But I feel like that would have been like, first of all, you have to accept that there is a cop named Tequila, and he's also kind of a rogue cop who never listens to the captain. So this is a world where that exists. Give Alan a better name. That's all. That's my main takeaway.
I agree.
Give him a better name.
Well, I'll piggyback on that. Like, to me, my note is Jesus Christ, Alan is the coolest motherfucker alive.
Sure.
His introduction with his Alfa Romeo Duetta Spider. It was like a 1968 or something. This was exactly the car that my dad had.
You love this car.
In medium cobalt blue as opposed to this beautiful red. But goddamn, that car looks good. And the music playing as he's driving, he's so fucking cool.
He's so cool.
He's so cool. He's driving to the library. That's how cool he is. He's driving to the library. You're like, oh man, look at this guy. He's not pulling up at the club. He's going to the library.
I bet he's got some overdue fees.
Yeah.
He's never going to pay him. But yeah.
That's right. But so cool, all that development with him. And then I also love how we get the emotion. We just talked about it in the payoff there after he kills Uncle Hoy, but he genuinely cares about, like, he is able to be in here, but to still care about people and try and help them as much as he absolutely can. And I love that human nature of that.
He's such a conflicted character. Tony Leung, one of my favorite actors. Just
so good.
This look, the eye acting, In the Mood for Love, all the Wong Kar-wai stuff with him.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen The Grandmaster, which was his, like, the martial arts thing with Zhang Ziyi from, like, maybe a decade ago, it was mid-2010s. Very few people saw it, but that movie rips. It is
really
so cool because it both balances Wong Kar-wai's kind of heightened aesthetic, but also it can just kick butt. So they do some really cool choreography and then very cool Wong Kar-wai slow-mo and aesthetics too.
That, yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah.
I've never seen In the Mood for Love. I'm deeply disappointed to say. I'm embarrassed to say.
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good.
I need to see it. Screaming on the Boat is maybe a little on the nose, but I love the paper cranes, and I love the symmetry of paper cranes for him and playing jazz music for Chow Yun-fat.
This movie opens in a jazz club. It doesn't make any sense. No, we're in a jazz club following Chow Yun-fat. He's in a jazz club. Then we go to a tea house with birds.
Yeah.
Just wild how this is all constructed.
Wild.
So my notes say the greatest opening shot in history, when he slams the drink down and then chugs it and then begins play. Like, you think we're about to have this big action shootout or something, and instead, no, it's him playing the oboe. It's so fucking cool.
And it's a very chill, relaxing song. You're kicking off your movie with, like, afternoon jazz scotch or a jazz and whiskey or something. And it's so weird. It's so slow for what the movie actually is, but I guess it's kind of melancholic too. And the movie balances that. There is a sense of loss amid all this action. There's a lot of drama here too. So it is Woo doing more than he did before when it came to, like, the severity of the action, but also like the heightened drama as well. He was a bit of a soap opera director before, and I feel like he's doing more of that now too. Plus bigger action. Yeah.
His that song that they set up there at the beginning in the jazz club, that is brought back after the tea house when the superintendent is walking through the morgue, and so it's this great payoff to bring that theme back and to continue to use that throughout the movie and portions. Do you guys want it? Should we just go to Chow Yun Fat? Should we while we're here?
Why delay?
Why delay?
So, Jason, your impressions, then and over time.
It's funny because I think like sort of thinking of it primarily as like in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I thought of him as more like I guess like that's like always the part I think of him as like the iconic Chow Yun Fat role, but like here he's playing like essentially Bruce Willis.
Like Crouching Tiger is actually the atypical role for him. The sort of quiet, somber guy. He is tequila.
But he's so good at that too.
Jokes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like to see him to be so like bombastic, so like over the top, like very like American cowboy in a lot of ways, really was like really was a thrill, a delight. And yeah, just completely charismatic and just so fun to watch, and like can like do all the action stuff and slide down the banister, double fisted, but also like just like look just do all the scenes where all he has to do is like look in the camera. Really amazing shit.
Charisma of 1 million on that guy.
Real high charisma, that guy. Charisma go.
Really amazing. So Chow Yun Fat apparently was a little frustrated after the changes with he and Madam kind of driving things and then her role getting subsumed. He was sort of left feeling like Alan had this incredible character depth and Tequila didn't really have very much. And so it was Chow's idea to ask John Woo to put in a mentor character,
Interesting.
the jazz player, and his idea for this is fucking genius. Chow asked Woo to cast himself as that role because he was convinced that Woo wouldn't cut the scenes.
It's brilliant. It's so brilliant. And he is so good. Like when he walks in too, like he walks in like, oh, that guy does not look like all the other extras. Like he is a guy carrying himself differently because this is my project. This is
Woo looks amazing. Like he looks like he's badass
too.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, looks really, really good. So I loved it. I loved Tequila as the incredible detective, able to find that library book in like 2 minutes. Like that was pretty.
Yeah,
some
he's
pretty
great.
good deduction.
He's really good at his job.
Yeah,
I mean, it's also like it's a book-shaped line in the blood. I wonder what that is. What are we surrounded by? I don't know.
But to find
maybe
the
it's a
actual
laptop.
book.
Yeah.
So good stuff there. So before we get into the action, which I assume we'll spend a good chunk of time, I just want to say what's really struck me this time is how the undercover mystery is the heart of the movie. They are very carefully protecting the fact that Alan is undercover. They're giving lots of hints all over the place, and there's all this misdirection that is happening. I absolutely love the White Roses and the song lyrics as the cipher to unlock the communication with Madam singing and then the inspector typing in the codes. Like so cool.
It is cool.
Surely we could find a better system, though. Like if they're not sure of the intonation of the notes and everything, I feel like it's easy to get hacked. There,
it definitely
easy to get miscommunicated.
That like requires having like perfect pitch or whatever. Feels a little dangerous.
That definitely seemed dangerous to me. Yeah, but I thought that was just so cool. And then when we finally get around to all of the fact that both of these guys have been have dealt with the repercussions of the lives they have. Both of them have killed cops in the line of action, and that becoming a bonding thing that really helps them. I just thought
so
that
weird.
Was
by the way, it's so weird that is the bonding thing.
I was like, I know what that's like.
I know what that's like. Yeah, you killed a buddy too. Yeah.
What can you do?
What can you do?
Maybe you should shoot so many people.
Yeah, maybe every time you go out on an investigation,
30 people
dozens of
shouldn't
people
die.
shouldn't die, basically. I don't know if To Kill is a great cop, actually. Now that I think about it, he doesn't listen to orders.
A lot of
Little-
consequences.
A lot of
And
consequences for this guy.
his boss has to explain to him at some point that there's like rules of procedure that like he was like, listen, like, you know, people are presumed innocent. You can't just go and arrest people. Like, there's lots of rules here. Remember,
We need witnesses. We need,
Yeah.
we need testimony. Yeah.
He's
that's
killing
really
all the witnesses. There is the line in this movie, though, give a man a gun. And, what was it? He thinks he's a hero. Give him two. He thinks he's God. And
Yeah,
that
that's
kind
right.
of that defines the woo philosophy, basically.
Really
because
good
it's all aesthetics. Like, it is the aesthetics of gunfighting and everything.
Yeah.
Nobody reloads. Nobody's ever doing anything like realistic.
Yeah.
It's an opera, and I love how
people could
operatic
be
it can be.
people could be shot like 28 times and still live.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
it's not like, I think that the idea of it as an opera is actually pretty important. Like the notion that this is like not meant to be anything. It's meant to be a sensation and not
This
like
is
a
Swan Lake
spectacle.
or something
Yeah.
too. Like this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
a big performance, big choreography, trying to tell an emotional story. So yeah.
Well, I was not aware that there was a genre for this. This is called the heroic bloodshed genre, invented by Hong Kong action cinema, revolving around stylized action sequences and dramatic themes such as brotherhood, duty, honor, redemption, and violence.
This is Tarantino's whole deal. Like
Yeah,
in the
his whole
90s,
deal,
basically.
man.
He kind of lifted this entirely. Yeah.
That was my first point, which was just sort of like Quentin Tarantino, you hack. Because like definitely in watching this, I was like, oh, okay, all right. So like you were the guy who had seen this before everyone else and could just do it with like white actors, and like people thought you like found you fucking Columbus some shit.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's the same as Kill Bill, which we also love.
Totally.
Sort
was-
of,
was
yeah.
a very direct. I mean, Kill Bill probably even more of a ripoff job.
Kill Bill for like here's the thing. What's the difference between ripoff and homage and like paying your respects to the things that really inspire you. So we did just review Kill Bill, the entire Bloody Affair,
Bloody
on
Affair?
Filmcast. I saw that full thing in theaters just a couple months ago, and I rewatched it all again.
Did
on
you go
video on
down?
demand.
Did you go down and watch it at Vista?
No, not the Vista. I'm in Atlanta. That's a much longer
that's right.
trek. It's a
forgot-
much longer trek for me.
I went to the Vista because it
Yeah.
was not playing in San Francisco. So I flew down. At the time, we had no idea that it was about to be released. And so they were screening Quentin's personal print that he flew to Cannes. So or that he
With
flew
the French
to Cannes.
subtitles.
With
and
the
stuff.
French subtitles. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really wild.
That's super cool. But that's fully restored. I'm conflicted about Quentin Tarantino because, like, clearly, yes, he lifts a lot of ideas. He takes direct references from folks like Wu, like so many other folks. But also, he has the chops. Like, I look at Kill Bill and I'm like, God damn, we were just not ready to shower this thing with the words. I thought Uma Thurman should have been, like, Oscar nominated for that.
Yeah,
film.
for
Like,
sure.
There's
Definitely.
just so much there. So it's like, I cannot call him a hack. I do think he should shut up, though, because he's also somebody who probably talks too much, and he's very annoying on podcasts.
Yeah.
That is certainly fair.
He
That
picked a
is
fight with Paul Dano, for God's sakes.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Everyone
And
loves Paul
Matthew-
Dano.
And Matthew Lillard, who's great on Daredevil Born Again.
He is.
He's making his way.
I'd pick a fight with like 90s era Matthew Lillard. That guy,
Yeah,
he was
fuck that
coasting.
guy.
He was coasting so hard. Yeah.
Wing Commander. Wing Commander era.
Scream.
That's great. Yeah. Fair. Let's talk about somebody who is giving performance, the max amount of performance per lines of dialogue, and that is legendary stunt coordinator Philip Kwok. So he starts out in the 5 Deadly Venoms for the Shaw Brothers, and then ends up doing a bunch of stunt stuff in Hong Kong, including Hard Boiled and Tomorrow Never Dies. So I didn't realize this. He choreographed all of the action and played Mad Dog, the eye patch wearing villain with a moral code.
You can't. What a legend. What a legend this man is. Yeah.
So I didn't know his name was Mad Dog. I just kept writing the Terminator. Like this guy is. He's got
Basically.
even the jacket. He's got like the green army jacket, like Arnold has in the first Terminator. Mad Dog was not in the script. They invented him on set when Wu just saw him and was like, "Dude, we need you in this
That's
movie.
how it
You're
works.
now the
Like,
bad guy."
when they would choreograph things, right? But he would also walk into the set and walk into the location and be like, okay, what can we do here? And I think the stairway shootout thing was kind of one of those inspirations. Like, okay, he needs to get down from up there to down here pretty quickly, and people are shooting at him. What can he do? Oh, he has 2 guns, and he could just slide down the banister a little bit, and history is born. Basically,
That's
history
crazy.
is made.
That's crazy.
I didn't get to see how they did that. Was he like wired up, or was he running down?
No, he was just
whatever?
like walking. He wasn't like sliding fully, but he was like walking and letting the weight of the stair, just take him down a little bit. So it just looks super smooth. Yeah, it's not a full.
I would have gone over the railing in a second. Like, there's no way. Like, concentrating, shooting, looking cool.
You're doing so much. You're doing so much there. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that he could do that you can't do.
That's definitely
it's interesting,
true.
like the degree to which like so much of this stuff was like the fact that Mad Dog was an on-set invention is crazy. Like the like it does go back to one of our recurrent themes on this podcast, which is like how much do you have to have a plan and versus how much can you improv. And like the lesson is really like you can improv a lot if you're very good. Like if you're very good,
if you're
get away
among the best,
you could get away with a lot.
It's like jazz. Like they set it up in this movie, right?
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
I was listening to the Sean Fennessy, Steven Spielberg conversation. And like one of his questions was like, you're considered one of the greatest in terms of shot making. Like you have an uncanny, and everyone kind of talks about your uncanny knack about where to put the camera. And you have all of these complicated camera moves that are like kind of inobtrusive, like they're not show-offy moves. Like how do you plan that, and how do you like sort of accomplish that on the day? And Spielberg like talks a bit about like sort of how much like preparation he does and like how he shows up before anyone else and whatever. But he also says he's like a lot of stuff is like just me, like he basically describes it as like me having a conversation with my like meditative self. Like allowing things like basically he's like, it doesn't work if I try to too rationally engage my brain. Like I have to like detach my rational brain and like sort of like, allow like the spirit to move me basically. And I was like, Jesus Christ, that's fucking crazy. Because
that's
like
true
just
creativity, baby. Yeah.
Like it's just that, that ties into another thing. I was listening to that, not just Jason Goldman reviews the podcast he listened to as an episode of the podcast, but I was listening to, Jack Clark is one of the Anthropic co-founders on the Plain English podcast with Derek Thompson. And they were talking about like whether or not AGI has been achieved with Claude. And one of the things that like Jack says no, because like Claude and the agents don't have like creative lateral thinking yet. They don't have like the ability to do discovery in the way that like humans do. And like he posits like maybe one of the reasons that's true is because so much creative thinking historically comes from when people are embodied, like they're out walking, they're going for a hike, or like they're sitting under an apple tree, or they're like away from the actual like intellectual work of thinking, and instead sort of going out and trying to discover making themselves open to the universe and new experiences. And maybe AIs as we've created them so far just aren't able to do that, which I think is
until they inhabit robots. That's the plan.
Yes, exactly.
Right?
They embody the shit out of
literally
those robots.
embody them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you get the what was it, the second revolution from the Matrix or whatever. That's how that happens. That's how we're getting there.
Oh boy. Get in line, problems we have to solve.
Don't fuck the robots, everyone. Don't fuck the robots.
That may actually be the key to world peace, though. Like, listen, if everybody was busy doing that and not making useless wars, just there's a lot of things. VR could have been that too. Like, throw a VR headset on the president, make him think he's in power, and just run the country around him.
God, that would be great.
That all could have been great. So many things we could have done.
Were you sad, Devindra, that the Horizons closed?
That thing was useless. Like that thing was fundamentally useless. I visited once and it was like a stupid Target activation, but they did do the Horizon workrooms thing, and for that one, like I was in a workroom session with Zuckerberg sitting right next to me virtually, and that's kind of a weird experience. And I feel like most people just never really got into it because you need to do VR for work and nobody wants to do that. But it was kind of crazy. And also in the video feed of that whole meeting, my avatar looks crazy because it wasn't doing like it wasn't doing motion tracking properly. So it showed like the failure of his own platform. Right.
That sucks. Because then you look dumb. Your avatar looks dumb. Or
my avatar looks silly, but whatever.
I just think it's
a weird
incredible that Facebook like spent $80 billion on the metaverse, renamed the company after the metaverse, and now is basically like, psych, not the metaverse.
The thing I keep saying is these people have no idea what the fuck they're doing. Like, do not think these are some business geniuses out there.
Exactly.
Zuckerberg got lucky. The OpenAI people got really lucky.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
That's basically
They at least invented some really, really, really transformative technology within the last 20 years.
Did they invent it, or did they stumble into it and have no idea what to do with it, basically? Like the whole Sora thing. The whole Sora thing.
A lot of times, too, like the real genius or like the real move is like figuring out how to parlay attention into market capitalization. Like figuring out like how you've got like something that's working, and how do you generate enough attention for it such that it like increases your share price and like increases your market share, which like Zuckerberg
Sam Altman can do that too,
and Sam Altman can do that. Elon can do that. Like that is actually the skill that those folks have. And I think Elon, as we talked about before, like Elon's real skill is having superhuman tolerance for risk, like really being willing to like just sort of do stuff that like is, if not on the line, over the line, like, on the bounds of legality, but like willing to do crazy
put people in fast moving cars and just say we're ready to go.
No, to be
sounds
clear,
good.
The risks are not the downside of the risks are not purely his to bear. Like they are they are amortized across the population writ large.
We could have been saved from so many things in his ride with Peter Thiel. History could have been very different. Our entire universe could be very different right now.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. All right. How do I get us back here?
Hard-boiled.
I could do my second point if you want.
Well, is there anything else we need to say about we started on the tea house, and I just want to hit a little bit more of the action stuff here. So like,
I mean, for me, the highlight of this movie, the hospital thing is fantastic, but I love the warehouse sequence because you build and build to it. And by the first hour, it's just like sheer insanity, and Mad Dog going around, like doing so much. And that scene made me realize, like, what were the safety measures back then? Because people are jumping into a car that is exploding as they jump into it, not as they jump out of it. So it's like, I don't know what's going on over there, but certainly not the same safety standards as even that were in the West or in America. But even back then, movies made in the U.S. also had really lax safety measures. It's not like, I think back to like the 70s and stuff, like the French Connections chase. So bad, so illegal, so dangerous to shoot, and they did it, and we could never do that again. But yeah, it just brings to mind like how different the standards are depending on the time and place where these things are made.
It's just the levels. The levels are so huge of what they're doing here. Mad Dog sliding the motorcycle, flipping and coming up, shooting with the submachine gun. Tequila jumping over a motorcycle to shoot another motorcycle. The size of the explosion of that motorcycle and the other one that immediately comes thereafter flying through the air.
Maybe try shooting at him if you're just riding your motorcycle at him, because he's just blowing up your motorcycles. That's all he's doing. But that Mad Dog move, like that is so iconic. The sliding of the bike, like that, everybody's repeating the Akira slide, which is cool. The Akira slide is very cool, but he does an Akira slide into like a 180 turn into oozing everybody in front of him. Like, let's repeat that a little bit. Somebody reference that, please.
Hell yes. Just absolutely amazing. And even when he tosses the grenades in where the two guards or the two guys are in there, the explosion that goes off, Philip Kwok he's like like ducking his head, but he's right there in that explosion. I had the explosions at the end at the hospital when Tequila is getting out of there. These explosions are so massive, and he's just like running, and they're blowing up. It's crazy.
It's wild. It is just wild. I don't want to think about how dangerous it was, because I also, at this point in my life, I don't think like I have any tolerance for people making unsafe film sets. Like in this day and age, we have so many measures to do it. If the Mad Max guy, if the Mad Max director can make
George
Fury
Miller.
Road without hurting anybody and do it safely and focus on safely, anything should be possible given
it's just like the difference is like Mad Max's budget was probably what, like 120 million
Yes.
versus like
Yes.
4.
Yep.
Even adjusted for
Right,
inflation.
Yep.
That's
like
fair.
one of my points I guess I'll do here, which is sort of related to this, like Hong Kong seemed in the 90s seemed fucking wild. Like, seemed pretty loose. It seemed like you could kind of just do whatever for a minute there, which I liked. It had like a real sort of like, and I guess I read something that like part of this movie was, you know, yeah, he wanted to respond to like the valorization of violence critique, but also he was like bummed that like society in Hong Kong was so violent at this time. There was so much like violence, and it does just seem like they were really kind of out there doing something for a minute, and then like
Shit was crazy.
Pre takeover, they were really kind of going for it. Would have been fun. Would have been fun to see.
Fun is a word. Fun is a word to use. Yeah.
Speaking of that, like apparently the tea house, the crew found the tea house was going to be torn down, and so they actually shot that scene for a week before the script was even written. So
That's
they
what
didn't
you
know
want to
they were-
find. You want to find a thing that's going to be destroyed so you can destroy it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And they shot in a week with interruptions from local triads in the area who were asking for protection money, as well as residents complaining about the noise.
It's a tough one when the real triad shows up.
Exactly. Exactly. I want to get into the hospital, but anything, Devindra, any other point you want to do before we go there?
I mean, there's great action. There's a shootout on the boat that's just a lot of fun, and it's kind of a bonding moment. Like what I love about Wu is like he is at heart a soap opera maker. He is somebody telling these great dramatic stories. That's something I really love about A Better Tomorrow, especially A Better Tomorrow What? Because that one is very much a low-key drama about gangsters, but also about brotherhood among those gangsters. And that's also the first time, I believe, Chow Yun-fat picked up 2 guns at the same time. It was just because he was doing his thing. He's like scouting the locations. Like, I got a hallway here. I've got this like sliding door into a thing where we're going to shoot all these people. We're going to hide some guns here. What happens if you have more than one gun? Maybe you'll use them both at the same time. So that sort of thing is just super, super cool. That movie rules. But I love his operatic nature. Like Wu can go overboard, like Mission Impossible 2 certainly goes overboard, but that's just my sensibility. Sometimes I appreciate that aesthetic, and he leans into it so hard, and it's like him and Michael Mann, 2 action directors that focus on emotion and relationships, and especially like it's men bonding with other men, which is not something we see very much too. So it's a very bro heavy sensibility, but it's bros in a soap opera protecting bros and trying to do good in the world, and I can't help but appreciate that.
Bros icing bros.
I just want to shout out Terrence in the Discord, who is our #1 John Woo fan in our community, was saying the pre-handover angst was a huge part of this movie as well. So this discussion, Tequila asks if he wants to move overseas. Uncle Hoy is asked by Alan whether he wants to go to Hawaii. So, I mean, this was a very a
live
very
issue.
real time, right? Yeah, it was 97 was the handover, right?
Yeah, 97, 99, I forget, but yeah, late 90s. It was right then.
And then obviously it is kind of horrific how Hong Kong has been taken over by the mainland, and all of their independence has been quashed. So I would be curious to see what Wu's take is on where things have landed now. This is
I think he's even talked about it, but like after things kind of went south for him in the U.S., like he made some real clunkers. What was the Ben Affleck one? Good God, Paycheck.
Never seen it.
With Uma Thurman. Just like you can tell when he's
Philip
just, like,
K. Dick and John Woo, like my head was exploding. This has got.
There are a lot of bad Philip K. Dick adaptations. Let me tell you. He had to go back to China to be like, okay, I'm going to do my big epic, and I think that involved playing nice with China. So he makes Red Cliff, he makes his other movies, and that's how he gets back into it. Yeah. He just recently had like he did a remake of The Killer that's on Peacock. That is not terrible. It's not bad actually. It's set in France, and it's
with
just
a female
like,
lead.
It is watchable. It is watchable in the way it's like, oh man, it's good to see him back in action doing his thing. But yeah, you guys were talking about. It looked
pretty generic. I watched the trailer for it and I was like, this looks like a Peacock movie.
It looks like a Peacock. Like his style, I think doesn't translate as well to like digitally shot video, which is a shame. And I hope he gets a chance to make it like a big thing. But you guys were talking about Hong Kong in the 80s and 90s. How do you feel about Bloodsport? because for
Love
me,
Bloodsport.
that was the movie where I was like, well, what is this place? What is this kind of seedy place where so many things are happening? It's like a city on the water in an island. Like, I love Bloodsport. Love Bloodsport. So
I've never seen Bloodsport, and
oh my god,
it's crazy.
It's
right?
coming. It's coming to the.
How
pod,
is that possible? Wait a minute.
It's very strange.
Our dear friend Dave Callahan, who wrote Across the Spider-Verse and has been writing and managing on Beyond the Spider-Verse, is coming back to do it. But those guys are just like in the trenches right now. So he'll be back.
I'm
summer.
sure. I just watched Across the Spider-Verse with my kids, and like every second of that movie, you're like, how the hell was this made? How do you animate this? How do you storyboard and ideate any of this? But anyway. Bloodsport, amazing film. It was on every single day in the 90s. Like literally every day on TV.
It was
I don't know how you escaped
law.
it. Seriously.
Yeah, it was like an FCC requirement. There had to be a channel showing Bloodsport at least once a day.
I remember they would sometimes show Bloodsport back to back. They would just keep showing it because that's all the people wanted to see.
I think by the time that was happening, I was already like in college or beyond college working like with a
That's
kid
a great
or
college
something.
movie. Great
It is a great
drunken
college
frat
movie.
movie. Come on.
It's crazy. The things Matt freely confesses to on this podcast without, having to be tortured is crazy.
Yeah. Also, like the hard target slander in here. Do you guys have good Van Damme feelings? Because at his peak, dude was really cooking. Like he was no Seagal. Like he was cooking in ways.
Never seen Time Cop. Never.
Time Cop is good. Time Cop is real good. Yeah.
No, I never
Street
liked
Fighter?
Time Cop.
Kickboxer?
No.
God, I'm quitting the pod. I'm quitting the pod until these crimes are atoned for.
So many crimes. Street Fighter? Come on. Not a good movie, but he's a lot of fun. He's like coked
Raul
up and barely in that movie. Raul Julia is incredible in Street Fighter.
Okay, I'll have to check it out again.
You got to do something for God's sakes.
Wow.
Do something with your life.
All right, let's get to the hospital, please, please.
All Matt wants to talk about.
So I thought this was amazing. I looked at the timestamp. I think it was like 64 minutes into the movie, and we are arriving at the hospital, and we're basically going to be here for the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
They shot for 40 days in a former Coca-Cola bottling factory.
Oh, I love that.
For extended periods, the cast and crew stayed in the hospital, which was boarded up around the outside so that they could do nighttime scenes. So apparently the crew was getting very kind of like losing track of time and getting like super burned out. So much so that they had the idea, what if we just do this one scene as a oneer? We'll just do the whole hallway sequence.
Good luck.
This is such an insane idea that they film the scene with them going down the hallway, shoot out, then go into the elevator and keep filming so that the crew can clean up the hallway, reset the squibs, get everything going, and then emerge from the hallway to continue the scene.
Yeah, the elevator's not going anywhere. Yeah.
No. This has never been done. Nothing like
because
this.
Why would you ever do it again?
Insane shit. Like, this is Mount Rushmore of filmmaking.
They basically turned it into some sort of like performance art piece of like how much can we traumatize like the production crew on this movie.
Nuts. Absolutely. There's this, and then there's the car scene in Children of Men as the most ambitious oneers in history, I think.
It's pretty crazy.
Just
I mean,
really-
their entire films, they're filmed as oneers. Come on. But yeah. Have you guys
Russian
seen
Ark?
Victoria? Russian Ark is barely watchable. Like it's
barely watchable.
That's like a museum piece. But the movie Victoria, which was like a little like German indie film, Spanish film, but it's set in Germany, and it's very good. All one take with the things you could do with digital cameras, right? You could do anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we love 1917 as well. Just stunning storytelling. But just absolutely amazing. I love the secret vault set where it's like suddenly they're like on a sci-fi looking, just the amazing set. And it felt like when they go off in that direction, I had flashbacks to the first time I was playing Portal. And when you get to the mission where you kind of go off grid and you're suddenly kind of like free ranging
behind the scenes,
like my brain exploded. I just couldn't. That was such a moment in video game history for me for all time. That was one of the greatest moments. But just hilarious. All them going completely nuts with the rocket launchers blowing up, everybody trying to escape. I thought was like, why are they mowing down all of the patients? And this is where Mad Dog is going to draw his line. I thought was really funny.
Like, why are the babies have to be involved? They finally got their baby endangerment in the movie.
It makes a great poster, though. It makes a tremendous poster. Like, this poster, like, haunted me through the 90s and everybody through the 90s. I knew what it was about, but people would often ask me, what the hell is that movie on your shelf? With the guy with the gun and the baby.
And the baby.
Yeah. So wild. And a baby.
So starting with the scene where Madam is looking at the babies, Jason, that was giving Station 11 Episode 9 vibes to me.
I like that. I like that as a reference.
That was really sweet. But by the time we get to the baby repelling, the chain of custody on these babies to parents, I thought was quite questionable.
They need they're gonna need the
tags.
LoJack system.
Is this your baby? Take it.
It's tough.
I mean, that's your problem, right? Your baby hasn't been blown up in the hospital. Now it's just in a pile of babies. So it's a much easier problem to solve, right? The whole thing reminds me of the forgotten Clive Owen movie, Shoot 'Em Up, which was a lot of fun. 2007, Paul Giamatti is the villain. Insane movie. Like, this is like, it was directed by somebody who clearly watched a lot of John Woo stuff and was just like, let's do basically a cranked up version of what John Woo did. The movie itself is bonkers, but there's a lot of saving the baby stuff in here too. So I think they directly got that. Yeah, I love Clive Owen. He deserved a better career.
He deserved a better career. I'm not exactly sure what happened.
You know, yeah, it's tough. Like, if you want to be the Bond, right, and you don't get to be Bond, then all of a sudden your prospects are more limited. And hey, at least we got Children of Men. Children of Men, one of the greatest movies ever made.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. He had he had William Peterson's agent. Same.
Yeah.
He was great in that recent TV series, A Murder at the End of the World, which I'd recommend to you guys. That's on Hulu.
I haven't seen that either.
I didn't watch The Nick either. I'd like to watch that.
The Nick.
It's good.
The Nick, you guys absolutely should see. Just
this
for
is
the
Soderbergh,
score.
Right?
It's Soderbergh, but it also has like the whatchamacallit, like the Soderbergh like composer who's often working with him, but it has an insane electronic score for a period show about hospitals in New York. Wild. So would highly recommend The Pit or the Nick.
I mean, speaking, the Closer or Closer?
Just Closer.
Closer.
Yeah.
Closer.
I've never seen
it was Closer.
Yeah. So good.
I want to see it.
Also, a good actor like Clive Owen, Tony Leung, and Chow Yun-Fat in the movie. Like, actors with eyes,
exactly
through their eyes. Well,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, if you were to remake this movie like contemporaneously, like in the 2000s, like if someone was trying to do it like in the 2000s, like, oh, this movie let's do it with American with Western actors.
They never tried to bring it to America. Like, that never happened from what I saw. So yeah, it was Johnny To doing it in Hong Kong. But yeah, Clive Owen would be the guy.
Clive Owen would be the guy, right?
Yeah. Love him so much. Clive Owen and what's his face from The Diplomat. That would be my choices.
Oh,
Rufus. Rufus Sewell.
Rufus Sewell. Eyes. Act with your eyes. He is so good too.
Interesting. All I have left is for main points is just the score and by jazz musician Michael Gibbs. So Wu had to really fight for this because people in Hong Kong don't generally listen to jazz. I mean, I guess most people in the U.S. don't either, but he really felt that was an important thing. And so I love, both the classic, the classic action components called Gun Arsenal in one, but it comes back again in multiple other songs. I always can picture that in my head at any given time, that score there. But then also it's called Tony's theme. But basically the saxophone and the kind of brooding synths and stuff to me is giving Blade Runner, like
that was
in
my
the strongest ways.
Yeah. My last point was like, we talk about the Tarantino ripping off this movie, but like I do feel this movie is homaging Blade Runner pretty strong with like the jazz as well as just
and the
like
neon of the city
and the cranes, the paper cranes,
cranes.
Oh yeah.
And the slow-mo, like the slowing, like the slow-mo with jazz in an action scene to me is just always Blade Runner.
And also like the Blade Runner, like that's LA trying to ape a city like Hong Kong, right? Like a really
right.
that's what it was. So yeah, totally feel that. Oh man, he needs to do like a good sci-fi. Wu's probably
That
too
would be
old for
great.
big projects, but yeah,
That would be great.
I don't know if he has the juice anymore. Like I would put money on Ang Lee doing something good and interesting again. I talked to Ang Lee around like when he did the Will Smith movie, and he is just so ready to try new things. I don't know if John Woo is. I think John Woo is like, hey, can I remake The Killer for cheap? Like he'll do it. And he's competent, and that's all we're getting. Yeah.
Yeah. That is fair. That's fair. The only honorable mention I have that we didn't already hit was the superintendent is pissed. I love the idea of the angry chief just transcends all cultures.
And make sure you have a
that's a
office
fucking
with
order.
With a glass wall, right? And every time you start shouting, all your colleagues just approach behind you to see the show. It's amazing. Every single time.
Really funny. Jason, anything we missed?
No, Blade Runner was my last one.
Devindra, anything we got to hit?
I mean, great movie. Like watching it now, I was thinking like, wow, they really laid out the building blocks of what would become Infernal Affairs, and I think that is, I see that connection even more clearly now here. Like Anthony Wong is in this movie as like the bad guy, the mobster Wong, but he is the police chief in Infernal Affairs. So just some incredible work there. And then Tony Leung in more mournful. There's very little action in that movie. They're really like slow burn shootouts or something, but it's really sad-eyed Tony Leung, even more hardcore. Tony Leung versus Andy Lau, who is typically like a comedic actor too. So a comedic actor doing a serious drama. That movie rules. That movie's so good. Yeah.
I'll have to put it on the list. I've got currently sitting in the queue. I've got 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple.
Very good.
And Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man, which I'm dying to watch. Get some Killian back in my life.
I was never a fan of that series, but I hear it's good. I hear it's fun. Yeah.
The series is very good, and I can't wait to get on this. All right, well then that brings us to who would Tilda Swinton play? This is a bit of a tough one here.
This is a tougher one.
This is not tough at all. She would play Mad Dog, and she would play the hell out of Mad Dog.
Great.
She would play the hell out of Mad Dog.
That's great.
That is fair.
I just imagine it. She would do so good.
Yeah, nice. Very cool, leaning over and lighting her cigarette.
Yeah.
She would look great doing it. She should find an excuse to do that anyway.
More people should just do that in more movies. I feel like the John Wick movies keep trying to like ape certain elements of Hard Boiled, and I love them, but also. Ever since they did the freaking bulletproof suits in that series, which was movie 2, I think I was like,
it is.
You guys can't have it all. You cannot have it all. You have to have some element, some level of reality here for me to take this action seriously. That's funny. They're still fun though.
Yeah, we had Derek Kolstad, the creator, on a couple of months ago, and so I watched 1 and 2, and so I need to now move on to 3 and 4.
3 and 4 are very good. Yeah, 4 is incredible, and then it's their deep pulls of bringing folks like what's his face from Only the Strong. He was on Iron Chef too, but yeah, they get some really good geeky pulls. I'll look it up right now. And Mark Dacascos, an actor I love. Love him so much. He was also on Iron Chef America and from Brotherhood of the Wolf. And
Warrior, right?
And Warrior? I think so.
Wasn't he? Really good. Jason, your cast?
DH Tilda as one of the babies?
Yeah. I'll take her as Uncle Ho.
Uncle Ho's good too, yeah. That was my real pick.
Yeah. We did it, you guys.
I can't believe we did it.
Incredible.
We did it.
Incredible. Well, you got to pick it when more movies get their like long-awaited 4K remasters. That is the ideal time to go back and revisit them, basically.
Really, really good. Can we do some quick letters?
Sure.
Here we go. Here is our first letter.
Hey, y'all, Barry here. Came back from New York last night for spring break, and I came down with something, so I was hopped up on NyQuil when I wrote this, so excuse me if it goes astray. John Woo, let's talk about his signature style. Not the double handguns, the slow-motion doves exploding into frame like feathery punctuation marks. So for today's Truth Sayer, 3 facts about mourning doves. 2 are rotten eggs. One is hard-boiled truth. Time for the truth sayer. Number one, mourning doves can see markings left by other animals using their ability to see some light in the ultraviolet spectrum, allowing them to avoid purchase recently touched by predators. Or is it number two, mourning doves can't sweat to regulate heat during hot weather. They just pant like a dog. Or is it number three, doves navigate urban environments by detecting low-frequency electromagnetic hums from city electrical grids using power lines as directional cues. So, which one of those dove facts is true?
I like the EMF dove idea.
I do too.
Sure.
Yeah.
Devindra, what do you think?
I'm down with that.
I also appreciate Birya doing this even when he's under the weather.
When he's sick.
Real mensch. And he did the product Data Central, the podcast Data Central update as well. So he's really out there working for us.
Keeping it real. Thank you. Here we go. Let's hear the answer.
All right, John Woo and the doves. Did you find the truth? It's number two. Mourning doves don't sweat, just like all birds.
Wow.
They cool themselves by panting, rapid open
makes sense.
beak breathing
Yeah.
to
Yep.
shed excess heat. I mean, you try catching your breath while being forced to cinematically flap through gunfire in super slow-mo. Here ends the truth sayer.
Now that he says it like that.
That does make sense. I did think some of the moments here felt like he perfected by the time he got to Face Off, right? So like the Somewhere Over the Rainbow scene.
Yep.
Just iconic and really fun. Although you have to be willing to put a young child into danger in order to make that work. Thank you so much, Birya. Here
Thank
is
you,
our
Birya.
next voicemail.
Hey gang, it's Kev here. Wow, big week this week. We are back with Devindra Hardawar and back with John Woo with Hard Boiled. Just want to say, I just listened, I'm catching up on the Filmcast, just listened to the Kill Bill, the Whole Bloody Affair episode, which I thought was great. When it comes to home video, Escape Hatch, well, A, you know where to find me, but B, when. Great episode, Devindra, great episode always, thank you, and the team so much. Kev's question, Hard Boiled is a movie... I guess you can call it like high-octane adventures in babysitting in some points, right?
Oh my God.
So Kev's question, I want to hear your wildest babysitting stories, whether adventures with your own kids or someone else's. What is, off the top of your head, the craziest thing that has happened while you are in the charge of a child? Is that the phrase? I don't know. That sounds really bad, but we're doing it. We're doing it. Peace and love to all, and I'll talk to you all very soon. Oh, also, fuck Harry Potter and J.K. Rowling. Who the fuck? And it looks like shit, too. Like, who the fuck? I'm sorry. Like, even if you could ignore the politics, that show looks like total ass, and I'm not afraid to say it.
All
Peace
right.
and love. I'll talk to you all very soon.
I love the city soundscape there.
Once again,
Just bring me
yes,
back.
Kev's questions.
Love it.
It's really good. He has he is now a real podcaster. He's got a nice setup for his multiple podcasts that he does. Laurie Strode Trap House and obviously the Austin Danger podcast. But he loves to do it on the street.
Yeah.
To keep it real.
Keep it
Yeah.
real. Yeah.
Do you have a babysitting story, Devindra?
Not specifically. Like, I don't know. The things thankfully, have not been that crazy with my kids. I used to have to take care of my younger brother quite a bit too. Had to take care of younger family members. Probably the time I was definitely I was probably 10 or something. And my younger brother's 5 years younger than me. He stuck a crayon up his nose and it went all the way up.
Oh,
Jesus.
And
Homer Simpson style?
I don't know what we're doing here. It was I think it broke off and it was just the point of the crown, but it went all the way up. And I was like, okay, I don't know what we're doing here. So they took him to the doctor. Couldn't really get it out. A couple years later, he sneezes and it comes flying out.
What?
So
wow.
It can happen.
It
That
really
can
just
happen.
rested up there.
It just
And
stayed
his
up there.
IQ shot up by 20 points. Wow. Holy
It's
moly.
rattling if you shake your head. Yeah.
That is crazy. Jason, how about you?
I mean, one time I was looking after my younger brother, and we were playing, sock hockey on the freshly clean floor, and I did put his head through the wall, which feels appropriate for this week's movie. And luckily he missed the stud and it just like went straight through the drywall. And
Jesus.
but we were like, wow. And now my son Griffin fucking loves hearing that story. He thinks that story is amazing. So yeah.
This is part of your like you were bigger and stronger than a lot of kids. You were like kind of like a tall, gangly.
I mean,
powerful.
but my brother was even bigger than me. I mean, maybe not at the time, but he is now. Yeah, you know, listen, things happen. Things happen.
Yeah. Also, why are our houses made out of like cardboard?
Exactly.
It's so weird.
This is a great
The
question.
concept of drywall is still wild to me when I see how other countries build their buildings. You know?
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
wild.
Good point. Good point. Thank you so much, Kev. Here is our final voicemail. Yeah.
Escape. Hey, this is Corey calling from Austin, Texas, about John Woo's action masterpiece from 1992, Hard Boiled. Jesus Christ, this movie is fucking bonkers. Like, I remembered it was bonkers, but I didn't remember like how bonkers it really is. This movie is just pretty much nonstop action set pieces. And then when it's not the action parts, it's still fucking entertaining as fuck. The jazz club, the saxophones, the drinks, and the just everything about this movie is fucking awesome. It's super cool. I mean, like most Gen Xers, I probably heard about Woo through Tarantino. Maybe some references in like some niche kind of like movie magazines I was reading at the time. But definitely by the time Tarantino was on the scene and really doing a lot of interviews and just talking about all his influences, it was on. And, you know, we had like lots of cool little video stores here in Austin, Texas, where you could find these movies. And then I also knew some other dudes that were like way into like videotape trading and shit like that. So I got my hands on some of these, and they were just like, you know, this one and Better Tomorrow and The Killer. Like, they're just mind-blowingly awesome. So fucking good. Yeah, there's a lot of bullets. Like, so many fucking bullets in this movie. It's crazy. I'm so happy we're doing this. What a weird, it seems kind of like a weird deviation, but not really for us. So I'm stoked though. I can't wait for you guys to talk about it. Who would Tilda Swinton play? Fucking Mad Dog, am I right? I mean, you know, by the end,
There you go.
There you go.
eye patch with the blood coming out. Like, oh, what a role. Okay. Yeah, man. I'm looking forward to this. All right. Talk to y'all next week. Bye.
Yeah. I knew this one was going to be good for Corey's. This one felt like a real Corey wheelhouse movie.
Yes. I mean, I still have a desire ultimately to do True Romance. I don't know if it will work, but that's like, it can be problematic in portions of it.
I don't think that movie aged well. I never loved it. And it's harder to watch now. It's harder to love now. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember particularly Gandolfini just like going off in a pretty intense way and thinking like this guy is an absolutely incredible actor and the most terrifying person I've ever seen. So quite strong there. Guys, we did it. We did it. Devindra, thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you guys. I
so
don't
much
need an
for
excuse to
coming.
watch Hard Boiled, but yeah, lovely being here.
Really, really good. Folks should check out. We've done the Bourne movies with you, and obviously Crouching Tiger. We need a best of episode soon. So maybe we'll release Crouching Tiger.
That'd be a good one.
Crouching Tiger.
It was a best of.
Really, truly one of the greats. Devindra, remind folks where they can find you. What do you have to plug?
Yeah. You can find me on Blue Sky at Devindra on Blue Sky. I talk about movies and TV at the Filmcast, at thefilmcast.com, and I write about technology at Engadget. I do the Engadget podcast too. I've got some movie-related interviews coming up. Just interviewed the director of the AI doc, which is a pretty good documentary, and also I'm going to interview the director of Exit 8. So that is an adaptation of the indie game. It's a Japanese film. I just saw it. It's incredible. So keep an eye out for that too. Yeah.
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome. Great. We'll look for those. Jason, what do you have to plug, my friend?
What do I have to plug this week? Let's see. I guess
International travel with kids?
Yeah, I don't know if that's a plug yet. We'll see how the results come back. We'll see how the results come back on that one. I don't know. I got a body scan this week, like one of those like DEXA scans where you lie on the table and they do that, and it was very fast.
This is like weight related and like structural makeup.
Yeah, like what your visceral fat count is.
How'd you do?
I sent it to my doc, and he wrote back. He said, "You are borderline critically fat." I was like, "All right."
What? You're like, you should have seen me 3 years ago.
Like critically fat. So I've been telling my wife that she's married to someone who's critically fat.
My doctor said the same thing to me like 4 years ago. She was like, the only thing you have to do is lose weight, get to work. And I was like, okay, fine.
Mine is not so much the absolute number of weight. It's just like sort of where it's anyway, it's going to be fine. I'm not worried about it. Everything's going according to plan.
It is fine, but dude, I'm wearing the Oura Ring. I've got the Apple Watch. I'm working out twice a week in the gym. I'm doing tennis and pickleball. I'm doing Pilates, and I'm only drinking 3 or 4 nights a week. Like, I go to bed at 9:30 at night. What the fuck do you want from me?
There's no stopping it. There's like once I hit 40, it was like my body just started falling apart. It's like, it does happen.
It's
like clockwork.
56. This is some bullshit, man. This is
awful.
bullshit.
Are you guys lifting weights? Because I'm reading more and more. That's really the strength training. You got to do more of.
It is the strength training. Yeah.
Devindra, get on the Pilates though. That's
all right.
It's the core. Your back is the most important thing, and so
I need to fix my back and also reduce my gut. Those are my goals.
Okay. Don't get critically fat.
Yeah. I'm there. I don't need a Dex machine to tell me that. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for watching, everybody.